Chapter 2. The Bench by the Ocean. Waves remember everything. It had been exactly 1 year since Eleanor sat on that wooden bench by the ocean. The train from Lisbon rumbled slower this time. Maybe it was just her. Maybe she was slower now too. But calmer, softer. As she stepped off at Nazaré station, the air smelled of salt and wildflowers. Not much had changed here. And yet, everything had. She walked straight to the cliff, her heart quietly hoping maybe Mateo would already be sitting there. But the bench was empty.
Just the sound of waves rolling in like long, slow breaths. A small bouquet of wildflowers lay on the bench. Someone had left them there. Someone who missed him too. Eleanor visited the little house on the hill. Lucia, the guest house owner, had passed away peacefully months ago. Mateo, she heard, had been getting weaker. Her hands shook as she knocked on his door. The door creaked open. It wasn't Mateo. It was a young woman in her 20s. Long dark hair, bare feet, surprised eyes. "You're Eleanor?" the girl asked, smiling softly. "He told me all about you." Her name was Ines, a local surfer, artist, dreamer. Mateo had become like a grandfather to her too. Ines explained quietly. "Mateo passed away last winter." Silence. Like the whole ocean paused for just a moment. But then, a smile from Ines. "He left you something." It wasn't money, or anything fancy. It was a letter. Old, folded, and smelling faintly of sea salt. Eleanor sat on the floor of Mateo's little home and read. Eleanor. If you're reading this, I guess I'm watching the waves from somewhere else now. But the bench, it needs someone. Someone to sit, to watch, to listen, to remember. You were never just passing through. You were always meant to be part of this place. Love, Mateo. She cried like she hadn't cried in years. Not from sadness alone, but from the deep, aching beauty of being remembered. That week, something strange happened. People in the village, the same people who once called her the American, began to greet her by name. A fisherman left her fresh bread. A child handed her sea glass. The cafe owner waved her over without asking for an order. It was as if she wasn't a visitor anymore. Days turned into weeks. Eleanor and Ines became inseparable. They would sit on the bench for hours, talking about Tomas, about Mateo, about life. Eleanor learned that Tomas had dreamed of building a small library by the beach, a place of stories for everyone.
He never got the chance. But the idea stayed like salt in the air. One morning, Ines looked at Eleanor with a spark in her eyes. "Let's do it." "Do what?" Eleanor asked. "Build it. Tomas' library. A small wooden shelf. By the bench. For anyone. Travelers, locals, kids, old men with sea stories. A place to leave a book. Or take one. Or leave a note. Or draw something. Memory made physical. Legacy made real. On her final night, Eleanor sat on the bench. Ines beside her. The little library beside them filled already with books from strangers and small sketches from kids. Waves crashed softly below. Do you think Mateo would have liked this? Eleanor asked. Ines smiled. I think he knew you would build it long before you did. Back in Boston, Eleanor's desk was different now. A photo of the bench. A piece of driftwood. A sketch from Ines. A tiny handmade sign that read "Waves remember everything." She still worked. Still lived. But once a year every March she returned to Nazaré. Not as a guest, but as the keeper of stories. The person of the bench. The girl who learned that some places don't just stay in your memory. They stay in your heart. Forever.